We're back.
Yay!
We
did it.
We did it. This one's officially going to be Charmed. Again, if you're just joining me, I'm Alyssa Price. This is Bad Mom Jokes. This is one of my favorite bad moms, Miriam Korn. Thank you so much for being here. We're gonna hug again because I can't get enough of you. Okay, so I don't even know. There's so many things. My head's exploding. I want to talk about your husband and how he is the real life Prince Charming.
I want to hear more about this.
I do too.
Let's go here.
I do want to touch upon what in the first video we got interrupted because Miriam, my daughter Raleigh, wasn't feeling well, and she's got diabetes, and I've never talked about that, so I feel like today's the day, so we'll talk about that.
Should we do that first?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I think we need to go with this Prince Charming thing. Like, we got to do this.
Okay, let's do it.
So I was saying how much I adore her husband, Gabe, and you guys, just to give you like an idea here, this like, how adorable.
Oh, I love this picture.
How adorable.
This was our Christmas card picture the first year we had Quinn when I was a total complete disaster nightmare.
Yeah, you can really tell.
I'm hiding it really well here.
This is like, honestly, oh, you guys should be model
Look at
family.
our little baby.
You are represented as a family,
I love,
right?
What?
You're represented as a family? You've got to be. You guys are so adorable.
Know. I think CSD maybe does that.
You have a family profile.
I need to get back
Tell
on the ball.
me you have a family profile on LA Casting.
I don't. Should I?
Yes. Talk to Christina over there.
Okay.
Our kids are at the same
They're at the same
agency. It's only the best one in LA. Honestly, I love Carolyn so much. Like, I sing her praises. I love her so much.
I need to get back on the ball. I've been like,
it's hard.
Slacking,
It is
like
so
massively.
hard. I spent time in the car yesterday from 9 a.m. until 6:30 p.m. driving to Canoga Park. Well, I was supposed to go to Van Nuys with a work permit, didn't make it there because of traffic. Driving to Burbank for a crappy audition, and then driving to Venice for his acting class. So
Declan's in an acting class because Declan, her son, loves acting.
Well, and he's at the age where he needs to know what to do. I'm not going to send him out there if he doesn't know what to do. So I want to work on it before he does theatrical.
I think it's like our last thing was hilarious. Quinn, it was during his nap time. Like, can we get a different time? They're like, no, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
Well, like during his nap time.
Well, not like it was at the top of it, and so I'm like, I went like, of course, right before he like slams his head into the concrete, and I'm like, oh my god, I just drove all the way to North Hollywood. Oh, I'm such a bad mom. I'm like, I drove to North Hollywood, like the first thing I get in there.
Yeah.
I took a picture, sent it to Gabriel. He's like, he looks like we just abused him. I'm like, I know.
It's like the day you have to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Declan got asthma, and the first day he was in the doctor's office, his oxygen levels were so low, but we didn't really know what was going on. And Jesse's like, so he can go to his audition in a couple hours. And the nurse looked at him like
who
are you insane? You're going to the emergency room. You know?
That's crazy.
And they even still say that. I'm like, you guys had no idea what was going on. I'm like, no. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
With Quinn, he bumped his head, which is normal because he's a little 2-year-old boy.
And then it looks so much worse than it is.
Yeah, no, and the session runner, he's like, I'm like, yeah, that literally just happened before we walked in here.
Yeah, sorry, we're here, we did our job,
and I was sure, like, he was just, like, I'm like, why did we even come?
Yeah, but then they booked that one.
He got a callback, and I was shocked. And during the callback, he was friggin' amazing. He was like talking, and then he didn't get
it. I love Quinn. But you know, it's true. There was a callback that Declan went to, and I was like, so how'd it go? And it sounded like really well. And then he's like, and it was this thing where he was like snuggling a dog, a fake dog, and he's like, and then I took the dog and I threw it up in the air and I punched it in the face. And I'm like, oh, you definitely. And I swear they called him. It's just. You never know. You just show up, you guys, because you don't know. They want what's impossible. They seriously want. Anyway, so your husband's a director.
He is.
And I want to get into that too. But I knew him before he knew you. And
right.
You guys, so this is what we were talking about.
Okay.
Gabe would come up to me every time he saw me at a party or whatever, and he'd be like, he'd always ask me, he'd be like, so how's your friend Miriam? And is she single? He had his eye on you for so long. I swear, we were trying to figure it out, but I swear. So he met Jesse in 2008, we decided, at Sundance on the way back. Jesse's favorite people he meets in the plane on the way back from Sundance. It's so funny. And so I must have met him shortly thereafter, and we would be at the same parties. This is before kids, so we would go to parties. I want to get into that too, like how we had lives. Now it feels like we can't.
More babysitters for you.
I know. It's a little tricky, but yeah. So, and he kept doing this, and then finally, when we were in the bowling league together, were you in the bowling league?
I was in the bowling league.
So there was an entertainment bowling league. Oh, I forgot to turn off the stupid thing.
That was one of my favorite.
That was so much fun.
That was Tuesday nights.
I hated bowling, but Jesse convinced me.
I'm the worst bowler.
I'm the worst bowler,
it was
you guys.
So much fun.
Jesse's so into it. He bought me a ball for Christmas.
I think I remember
and
that.
And we would sit there like together in the kitchen,
cleaning your balls.
Cleaning your balls.
Amazing.
I have a picture of that. That is true love, when you clean your balls with your husband because you love him.
Yes.
Yeah, so we were in an entertainment. What was it called?
God, you had
what
your
was the
own
entertainment?
Ball.
We had our own balls. We had our own balls.
Were they monogrammed?
Yes, it's called the Dawn because my middle name is Dawn, so my bowling ball is the Dawn.
Adorable.
Yeah, and his is Jay Jupiter because that's his nickname from college.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're total nerds.
Total nerds. Yeah.
So we were. I forget. Was it the year of Bowling Dangerously? No, that was one of the team names. I'm trying to remember what they called it. It was entertainment.
I thought it was just the Entertainment Bowling League.
Maybe that's what it was. And these guys ran it, and they're total hustlers, and
I'm
for
friends
them.
with Josh.
Nice.
He has 2 kids now.
Oh, wow, and we all have kids now.
They're
so
awesome.
Miriam, you were in this.
Oh my God, the other one has twins.
Whose team were you on?
I was on a girl team with Connor and Jenny and Stacy, and I love them, and they were amazing.
Connor. Do you see her?
Yeah, I just saw her the other day.
She's the mom too.
She's the mom. She's the wife of Josh, who ran it.
Right, that's right. Of course.
They're amazing.
I love her so much.
Oh
I could talk about her for a while.
Cute kids. She's like a strong, powerful woman.
Yes. She's from Santa Barbara, near my hometown. We have that in common.
She is.
She's a dancer. We have that in common.
Oh my God,
we used to dance. Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
And so you were on a team with them, which is so cool. I'm sure she was really good at bowling.
She was. I think everyone was good
really
except
athletic.
me.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter because
I suck so bad, and they were so great about it. So, because Jesse, my husband's very competitive, and
so
he's all about winning. Yeah.
Gabriel, they weren't on the same team.
No.
Right?
Well, yes, we were. We were on Cobra Kai. We had the Cobra Kai shirts.
Oh,
so Gabe was on our team. So we were all pretty close, and he came up to me like every week. He'd be like, "What's going on, Miriam? What's going on, Miriam?"
God.
And that's when it finally happened because you were single.
Oh, you're right, because I ended one relationship and then I started dating someone else.
Yeah, was that in like 2011?
No.
2010?
No,
2009? No. The bowling league was 2009? It can't be. It
was 2009 to 2011, I think.
Oh, wow.
Or 2000, yeah.
Wow. But this was towards the end. I feel like this was one of the last years that I did it.
Yeah. It was one of the last years of the bowling league.
So he had waited at least 2 years. Because you were in the bowling league, and he would be like, every time, he'd be like, "Alyssa, Miriam, update, status." And I'd be like, still dating someone. And you were dating that actor that did all the commercials.
Yeah, Ben.
How long were you with Ben?
2 years.
I think he was asking me since before Ben, because I swear that you were like single for a split second, and he missed it, and I'm like, sorry, she's in a new relationship. I swear that happened.
Okay.
I'm telling you, he was on it. I have to give him credit. I have to give your husband credit because I don't think many men know how to play the long game, and he played it. This is my question for you. How does it feel to be pursued? For all the women out there that don't know what that is.
I love it. Being pursued is, I feel like, so important, and I'm sort of old school in the sense that...
Okay, just so you know, it doesn't happen to hardly any. You're a unicorn. But yes, it's important.
Wait, Jesse didn't pursue you?
No, hell no. We were like a one-night stand. I chased him. I wanted to get laid that night.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I was always of the idea that if a guy can't ask you out on the first date and pursue, then how many other things is he not going to be able to do? Which is absolutely not true, but that was just
a lot of
how
women wait around and it never happens because guys just don't do it anymore. They just don't.
But I will say I was proactive because I knew, because you had told me that he had been asking about me. And my boyfriend and I had broken up, but we were still hooking up.
Yeah,
and then I was also dating someone else because, hey.
It's LA. You have a life. You have a
I'm
vagina
allowed.
that needs to be serviced.
It does. It very much does. It loves being serviced. And my best friend was tired of me hooking up with my ex-boyfriend, and she's like, you need to email email or Facebook message. This is when Facebook was still really big. 3 guys you think are cute. And I was like, well, there's this guy, Gabriel, who I definitely think is cute.
He's so cute, you guys.
She almost didn't want me to email
show you
him
again.
Because
just if you missed it, This is her husband now with their gorgeous little son, Quinn.
And that's before we started keto, so he looks even better now.
You guys have always been amazing. You guys have the best bodies. I was going to do the bathing suit picture, but I didn't want you to feel awkward, but they have the hottest. What's your Instagram? Miracorn or
Miracorn?
Miracorn. Miracorn on Instagram.
Aww,
you guys,
you're
just
very sweet.
the beach photos, okay? I didn't want to put pressure on you because last night I'm like, send me pictures, and then you're like, I didn't get to it. I'm like, I got them, and you're probably like, what pictures?
No, I was just like, oh God, why I should be better.
Okay, and I want to say really quick because I want to talk about how hot your husband is. Have you seen?
He's gonna love this.
No, wait. Have you seen Once? They don't watch this.
No.
Have you seen Once Upon a Time? Have you seen them? It's like a fairy tale. All the fairy tale characters get stuck.
Yeah.
In our time and space, and it's like torture because they can't remember who they were.
Right?
Yeah, but it went for a really long time, so I haven't watched all of them.
Oh,
but
it's a TV show.
It's a TV show,
and
I got really.
Lucas was on it.
Okay, I got really into it. Prince Charming. I'm getting chills right now. Prince Charming. How much does he look like Josh Dallas, you guys?
I don't even know who this person is.
I am so wet for Prince Charming. And now this is going to get awkward because I'm not wet for your husband, but watch the show.
Okay.
It's like he so gets what every woman wants. Like the way he pursues Snow White with true love. Like it's dangerous. If I were single, I would just watch that all the time and just think that could happen. I mean, I want to know if Josh Dallas is that charming in real life because there's something about him, and I instantly was like, he reminds me of Gabe, and I showed Jesse.
I gotta look this guy up.
And Jesse was like, oh yeah, I see it. I totally see it, like in his mannerisms, and it's like he's not cheesy. He feels straight, but he's so gorgeous. And I don't usually, like, I am one of those people, I don't get into guys. Like, I'm not like a face person. I'm not like, oh, I'm dying, like Brian something, or, like all the hot guys. I could care less. I've always loved Robert Downey Jr. That's the only one. My heart will always be his. And I can say that because my husband has the hugest crush on Scarlett Johansson. Like, he would leave me.
I love her too.
I like her too, so I'm okay
I
with
would
it.
totally.
I'm like,
hey,
I gotcha.
Scarlett,
I would be a lesbian for her, for sure.
Oh,
like,
she is like,
we'd both be like, we're here.
Beautiful.
We're here for you, Scarlett. Yeah. Oh, God. Everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so, anyways.
Is this legal? Are you still allowed to talk about how people look?
This is Bad Mom Jokes. We can talk about whatever we want because this is for us.
Here we go.
This is
like
for us. This is not a family channel, folks. So.
Oh my God.
Okay, so
Scarlett Johansson.
How does it feel to be with Prince Charming? I'm sure he's not always Prince Charming.
Of course not.
Yeah.
We are in a really good phase right now. We're in a great phase right now, so it feels really good. I'm actually though, this is like, I mean, I guess like having kids or whatever, but like my sex drive is not what it used to be.
Oh, for sure.
And
it comes in waves.
It really does.
Yeah, either I'm like horny, I could have sex with anything, or I'm just like, no, sorry, stay away from me.
But it's like so healthy. Did you know that they say having more sex makes you A, look younger, and B, increase your lifespan?
I could see you guys being like, we just need to do it for longevity. I could totally see you guys.
Like, no, so I'm like, or the times that I want to do it, it's like the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Or
I'm a daytime person too, and Jesse's a nighttime person, so getting that like synced is really hard. Yeah.
I need to work on it. I have this amazing vitamin guy in North Hollywood.
Nice.
He's probably the reason I got pregnant so fast. And I'm like, hey, Dr. Solomon, I think I need some vitamin for my libido to get it back to where it used to be.
Yeah. Well, did he have something for you?
I don't know. I was supposed to call him on my way.
But you're a mom, so who has the time? I need a new printer.
Amazon. It's this thing called Amazon.
A printer? Really? I feel like you need to go and like talk to people and be like, does this one actually work?
You should research it online. Or actually, speaking of Prince Charming, and by the way, he's not always Prince Charming.
I'm sure.
You should text Gabriel because he's a great researcher. He knows everything. Like,
good for him.
He's like
well, I was gonna make a joke
when you said or the whatever. Gabriel did all that.
Yeah, like when you said the vitamins for why you got pregnant right away, I'd be like, no, it's because it's Prince Charming.
Like I got all the heavy metals out of my system. Thank you, Dr. Saltman.
Yeah, no, that's important. No fish. Well, at least like once a week, no more, right? Because the mercury will just like kill.
I didn't even think about that.
Really
I think it was. I also, when I was younger, used to wear regular deodorant, not the like ones without.
Oh yeah. Now I have the
cruelty
free, and I just reek. It's
I do.
Do I want to smell or do I want to smell? Like those are. It's like guilt free but smelling. It doesn't work.
and I showered this morning, and I put on my Whole Foods deodorant. No.
Well, to me, you'll always smell amazing because you're a princess.
Don't do it.
You're with Prince Charming. So, here's the thing.
Okay.
When you guys are not in a good place, does it help you to know how heavily he pursued you? Like, does it pull you through those times?
Jesus Christ, I've never thought about that.
You should think about that.
I should think about that.
Because for me, I'm like looking at my husband. I love him so much, and I know he loves me.
He's amazing.
But I look at him, I'm like, I made this way too easy. Like, it's way too easy. You didn't have to do anything. You've never had to work hard. In fact, when he proposed, he surprised me with the proposal. I had no idea he would ever propose.
I don't even know how he proposed.
We were in Belize on our first big trip together. He was very romantic. He hid the ring. We were on this dock with the lights all down the dock. We were about to get on a boat taxi, and he got down on one knee very bravely on the first night of the vacation. Because we had never talked about it. So I could have easily said no.
And that would have been a very awkward vacation.
Yeah, that would be a hard, like usually you do it maybe on the last night just in case, right?
Right.
And then we can go home and be like, So he got down on one knee and he asked me, and the first thought was like, don't make it too easy. You've made this way too easy. So I paused. I did like a really long pause. And then I said yes, because I had not thought about it. And then I'm like, I'm just going to say yes in my life. But we'll think about it later. And he said he got really nervous. Hey, Raleigh.
Hi, Raleigh.
That's my daughter. Hi. Are you hungry?
That's why I want food.
I wonder if she drank milk and her tummy's sensitive from the milk today.
Hi, Quinn Bear. Want to come here?
Oh, or I wonder if it's she had her flu shot, and I'm wondering if that's upsetting her tummy too. Poor baby. Raleigh, do you want some water? Do you want water?
You want to come sit on my lap? You come here. Will you come to me? Will you come here? Will you bring it here?
No, come here, Mom.
Oh, your mommy, there's a video happening. They're like, this is, guys.
Mommy, come here.
No, yeah, kids are like, not going to take it.
Baby, I'm not offering that to you right now.
Also, he is a mini version of your husband.
He
You're
really
just with
is.
your husband all the time. He is so cute.
What would you like to show me?
It's okay. You can go if you need to go. This isn't sacred.
Let me see.
We're just two moms jamming, you guys.
You want to show me the police car?
Oh, in an earlier video, because we've been interrupted several times, because we're real moms. We're real moms with real kids. And yes, I have someone here. My good friend Marcy is babysitting, but let's face it, if you're in the house, even if you have a babysitter, you're almost getting nothing done because your kids are constantly going to go to you. I admire women that can work from home because my kids, if they see me, they want me to do everything. And I just find that the only way I'm going to get anything done is if I'm out of sight. And then they'll go to the next person that's the responsible adult. So that's kind of tricky. This plant is bothering me. I'm going to move it. Let's see if that looks better. No, now it's like on top of her head. Just a minute. Okay, so I do everything on this channel, you guys. I do my own writing. I do my own filming on my phone. I do the set design. This is it, a one-woman production here. So you get, sometimes I'm obsessed with what the background looks like, and sometimes I'm the talent. Do I like that better? This is so cute. You guys can't see it. I'm going to show it to you. Because every week all it is this yellow pole. And it's so awkward on camera, but it's so cute. My husband and I are really into mid-century modern, and we found this in Virginia. How cute is that? But you can't see it on film, so it just looks like an awkward pole that's going through my guest's head. And I can't move it because it's fragile and installed. So, all right, pillows are fluffed. Bangs are managed. Okay, so where were we? Yeah, so Miriam is with Prince Charming. I was really obsessed with Once Upon a Time. I was, that's what it's called, right? And I was watching it constantly. Yeah, Once Upon a Time. And I just couldn't believe how much Prince Charming and Josh Dallas looks like her husband and acts like her husband. And I kind of became obsessed with him, the actor, not her husband. And I would watch him in anything. Like, I don't there's so many guys that get credit as being that that ideal and the woman's fantasy. I very rarely see it. I'm not one to fall for a good body and a good face. Like I need the soul to shine, you know. And Josh Dallas he may be faking it, but he's got something that's so earnest and so masculine at the same time. It's like that is what ladies want. So yeah, so if anybody's watching that's a producer or whatever, next big rom-com, Josh Dallas. Just putting it out there. I will go watch it, and so will other women, hopefully. Come on, women. I find that my tastes are kind of outlier tastes, so what I want isn't always what I see in popular culture, and that's hard. Or like every show I've ever really loved gets canceled after 2 seasons. But I know there's a lot of us out there. So if we band together, you guys, ladies, we get what we want. We just have to stick together. What else do I want to ask her about? I want to know about their first date because I want to know if he was nervous. Because, like, I don't think she believes me, like, how many times Gabe came up to me and was like, is Miriam available yet? When he would ask me, like, when can I send her the Facebook message? Like, when can I ask her out on a date? And I was like, not yet. You're not yet. And then finally it happened. He got what he wanted. Now they're married with a beautiful child. And then I wanted to talk to her about, let's see if I actually do it. I want to talk to her about when you're at a fancy, say, dinner party and people go around saying, like, how did you first meet? My husband and I, we were a one-night stand. I mean, just to put it bluntly. I mean, if you want to put it really nicely, we could call it a first date, but it was a Wednesday night. We didn't watch the movie. We rented, like, a Steve Martin movie. That was just a charade. To get together, and I really had no idea if I would see him again, but I really liked him, and I could start to picture myself with him, like kind of growing old with him, and then I was really pleased when he also wanted to date me, so I was like, oh, well, this worked out. Hey Quinn, are you gonna hang out with us?
Yeah.
All right, come on over, hang out, mini Gabe. So I was telling them, I want to ask about your first date with Gabe. So he finally connects with you, and you say yes, or you could. Did he reach out to you? Because he asked me, can I go? I'm sending her a Facebook message.
Oh, what's so random is I sent him a Facebook message, and he sent me an email, and there was time stamped at the same time, not answering each other's questions. Because
you guys are like the real Snow White and Prince Charming right here. You could be Snow White. You could totally play Snow White. Don't be distracted. Sorry.
Oh,
I
sorry.
have notes. She's like, what is she going to say to me? So you connect. So you at the same time reached out to each other.
At the exact same time.
Wow.
And like I said before, my best friend was tired of me hooking up with my ex-boyfriend, so she was like, you're not leaving my apartment until you Facebook message or email 3 guys you think are cute. And so Gabriel was one of them. And then,
because I remember
literally when I went home to check my computer, because I didn't have a smartphone at the time, I had a little pink flip phone.
I remember those.
Oh, so cute.
I love
so
those
did Summer
phones.
from the OC. Anyhow. Yeah, and so then we had this email conversation for a good 2 months before we went out.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we had
But you were seeing each other. Was the bowling league over at this point?
No, I only started bowling once I met Gabriel. Yeah.
Okay. So before you were in the bowling league, because I remember those were the nights he'd ask about you, and that must have been because he kept asking, can I send her a Facebook message, or how's the best way to reach out to her? I said, maybe a Facebook message, and he'd come up to you, is now the time, and I finally gave him the green light, because I knew your relationship was over.
It was done, yeah.
And so that must have been the timing. And then, first date, so how did that, like, was he nervous? Like, I want to know, after all this buildup of working to get the girl, like, how did he play it on the first date? Like, where'd you go? What did he do?
He wore a white t-shirt, light blue jeans, and brown flip-flops, which I love, which was the outfit John Mayer wore the first time I heard him in concert.
Snap.
And I was, like, pretty casual, too.
Where did you go?
We went to a movie at USC. We saw Benjamin Button.
Oh, that's a good one.
And at
we
the
saw
top,
that too.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's 8 night.
And at the top of it, like, all of his friends were sort of around him, and he's like, I just want you to know, like, we're not going to hold hands. And
Wait, I have a question. You had other people there that you knew?
I didn't know anyone. I didn't go to USC,
but
he did.
Oh, because
it was a screening at USC.
And he invited you to that.
And he went to USC.
Oh my gosh, what a player move. So he's like, this is my like territory.
Yeah.
USC, he's a film student. He graduated from USC Film. So it's like, that's kind of cool because you're an actress and you're like, he's a filmmaker. He's like in his territory.
I didn't even think of it
like
that.
Ruffling his cock feathers or whatever. Like how a rooster like puffs up or something. Smart. And he's dressed like John Mayer. He maybe even knew that you loved John Mayer. Did you have anywhere on your Facebook that you were into John Mayer?
I don't.
Because he was planning this for a long time. Like he put thoughts.
He did put thought into it. He asked me that if I wanted to go to some thing downtown, like a snowboarding convention, and I was like, no, I'm going to a service. And then he thought I was like super religious because I was going to this like meditation service in the morning.
Oh, funny. And then was he like, oh, like he was like scare him a little bit?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, people get kind of scared by religion.
Yeah. But we still went out and so he was like, we're not going to hold hands. And it was such a relief because you know, like that time where you're like, my hands here. Are we going to grab hands? Are we going to
Or like when you first someone puts their hand on your knee and you're like, can I move now?
Should I not move?
Like,
I can't
go
focus
to
on
the
the
bathroom.
movie.
Like, is he going to try to do more? Do I have to touch him? Yeah, it's so distracting.
It's distracting and then you don't get to focus on the movie. But I got to focus on the movie and then we went to K and Dave's. Then we went to Starbucks, then we went to K and Dave's. No, then we went to K and Dave's, then we went to Starbucks. And then I was like, well, at the end of the day, I'm like, well, I have to know if he's a good kisser because if he's not, then it's not worth pursuing. And so I made the first move to, like, when he dropped me off to kiss him. Yeah. And I found out in hindsight, I have a problem with, like, dry lips. They're okay right now, but, like, he was like, your lips were so dry. But he told me that years later. Anyhow.
He's like, but I married you anyway.
The kiss was great.
He's like, but you're really hot, so I could live with that. Here's some chapstick.
He's like, here's some.
Yeah, here's some Vaseline.
Here's some lip balm.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
And it was a great date, and it went on and on and on, and I was like, I remember thinking, this is a person worth pursuing. Yeah. I remember because I was still hooking up with my ex-boyfriend. Gabriel had called me the next day. Yeah. I didn't call him back because I was still like of the mindset that you should wait a couple days.
Can't be too easy. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And but I did call my ex-boyfriend who I was still hooking up with the very next day, and I was like, hey,
it's over.
We can't see each other. And he was like, you've known this guy forever. I'm like, no, I haven't. I went out on my first date with him last night.
Nice.
But I'm
not that
I'm
it's
done.
any of his business.
No. But I mean, we've been in a long relationship, and
you gotta put your foot down. Yeah.
And
honestly,
and he's a good, like,
full
Ben's
disclosure,
a good guy.
I did not like your ex-boyfriend.
No one did. No one liked Ben. No one liked Ben. And no one told me until later.
No, I feel like I might have. Did I say anything? I feel like Jesse and I were kind of like, he seemed pretty self-absorbed. Maybe I said something once you broke up. But then when you were still hooking up, I might have been honest.
I feel like if more people would have told me that during, it would have been helpful. But I don't
know. You were into him though, and it's hard when someone's into him because then they're gonna be upset with you for like raining on their parade. You know.
I mean,
someone's gotta be open to the criticism.
I will say I learned so much from Ben.
Did you?
And I just saw Ben the other. No.
Oh.
No.
No. Like what not to do.
Well, like I learned what I need. I learned. You know, I'm a very sensitive person. I learned that I learned a lot of things. I learned what I want from a relationship.
And that's important. And
I will say, like, Ben, what I loved about Ben, he was very successful, very driven, very motivated. Mm-hmm. And talented, I would say. Yeah.
It's so self-absorbed.
Yeah.
That's one of the side effects of this industry, and I see it with comedians.
That's fair.
You're your own act, and you can err on the side of it's always about you, not just when you're on stage, but in your life. And I see it's really hard for talent to stop doing that. Like even Declan, my son, who's really talented and does great on set. In real life, I see him struggling because like he'll be out in the soccer field, and all he needs to do is play soccer. And he's like slapping people's butts or taking off his shirt. He's trying to get them to laugh and pay attention to him.
Gotcha.
And it's like he will have to learn when it's appropriate and when it's not appropriate. Because in real life, it just pisses people off.
Yeah.
You know, you become that person that everyone's like, oh, God, they always need.
I was surprised how many people didn't like him that I was like,
well,
why didn't you tell me?
Here's the thing. I only met him one time.
It wasn't good for me.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't good for him either.
Yeah. I only met him that one time, and it was a party, and the whole time, all he was about was like, who do I need to meet and introduce myself to, and then I'm done with the party.
Oh.
And it was such a great party, you guys. Like, I get it if it's like, okay, I'm working tonight, so just put on my working hat. But it was like a really fun, cool party.
I hate when people are like
and
that.
it's like he couldn't stop for a second and then just enjoy the night, you know?
I think he might have a little bit of social anxiety also.
Oh yeah, and we all do, but you know, it's like you gotta.
No, you're right.
Stop
Why am I making
and now people do with Instagram. I will go to a pool party in Hollywood, and everyone is just Instagramming everything, and they're not even noticing that they're at this gorgeous hotel at a pool party. It's like you're having the time of your lives, and all you're worried about is how many people are seeing your gorgeous Instagram.
Yes.
And Jesse and I mean, I take Instagram photos, but then you put it down and you splash around. You know, you still gotta live. Anyways, so.
Oh.
Yeah, you know about that. Yeah, because you're not. We were talking about how you're not super into social media.
I should be. I should be
No,
better, but
I don't think you
right
should.
now timing I can't.
But here's the thing:
I can't.
we all feel this pressure, like we should. Like if you're an actress, you should be constantly self-promoting. And yes, there's a certain amount of truth to that. But I think if you don't enjoy it, don't do it. There's no proof. I've seen the most brilliant comedians, and then I can't find them on Instagram, but they're still doing comedy and doing great and have like a Wikipedia page. They've just made the personal decision, I'm not going to do it. Like, I think it's a personal choice, you know?
I mean, I see both sides
I
of it.
do
like,
too.
I see like
I
that
do
it's
it.
necessary.
Yeah.
It is necessary.
Yeah.
I just right now in my life, I can't
You're
I
a
can't
mom,
add an extra
You're working,
thing.
you're pursuing your acting. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe in a couple years.
Yeah. And
I have one follower.
honestly,
I have a million.
here's the thing though, and I talked to a mom comedian who took 10 years off to raise her son, and she said, everyone will be right back where you left them. Like,
Right.
don't stress, it'll all be there, and you'll be so glad that you spent that time with your kid, you know? So it can feel in the moment like we've got to do so much. Like, I'm constantly trying to do this and promote it, but it's like, no, and this is what this channel's about. Like, no, you don't have to do it all.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
it's impossible.
they'll
to do
grow
it all.
up, and then you'll have your time back.
And you'll be, I mean, like, okay, so last night when I was putting Quinn to bed, I'm just like, you are a little man that I just want to eat.
Yeah.
You know, like,
enjoy
it. I almost think that's why it was, not that I'd wish this upon anyone, but like the beginning was so rough. And this is like, even though he's 2,
Yeah.
and he's exhibiting characteristics of a 2-year-old,
Sure.
like it's so
It's the nicest way to put
friggin'
that, by the
lovely.
way. Yeah.
Like I
pretty
love
special.
hanging. Like I just.
Yeah, and it goes so fast because soon
That's
he'll
what
be off
everyone
to school.
says,
And you're one and done.
Yeah.
I
we're
see
one
that.
and done.
Because you're both creative types, and I'm just gonna ask you that. So he's a filmmaker, you're an actress. Is it hard to balance like who gets what time off?
Oh, absolutely, because we don't have
Like
a
who
nanny.
gets to be the star, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's whoever's working more in that moment.
That's so hard.
It is hard. It is very
That
hard.
is so hard because as an artist, you may not be ever making money, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't pursue your dream, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens with us too because Jesse's
imagine.
a producer and he is on salary, and I need to go to New York, I need to go to Miami,
Right.
and it's like, and then I'm going to a comedy festival this weekend
That's awesome.
that I didn't submit to, but a bunch of my girlfriends are in it, and so I'm actually gonna take BadMomJokes and interview comedians from Palm Springs starting tomorrow, you guys.
Wait,
So
you're
let's
going to Palm Springs?
Palm Springs.
I love
tomorrow.
Palm Springs. Palm
And
Springs
Jesse's
is where I got married.
coming along with the kids because he's so stressed about being alone with them for 2 days. Because Raleigh, my daughter, has diabetes.
Right.
And it's like, I'm going to be juggling so much. I can't just be, like, I could, but I'm like, okay, I get it. You know, I don't want to abandon them and make them feel vulnerable. But he just was like, I'm leaving these days, I'm leaving those days. And then he can just focus on his work. You know, but I'm not getting paid, and you know, fortunately he is really supportive. Is Gabe supportive?
So supportive.
That's great. You need that for sure.
Yeah. No, it's like when I book work, he's like, okay, we'll make it work, or you know, whatever.
Yeah, I haven't quite gotten to the point of trying to book jobs because
It's so
it's
different.
tricky. Yeah,
I can't imagine having 2 kids. That's
Right.
just a different ballgame.
Yeah,
It's a different ballgame.
It
I'm
is.
not
You'll
gonna
get
lie.
because you'll get out sooner. Like my friends that have kids in kindergarten and there's one, I'm like, oh whoa, they've got their lives back.
Right.
And
right.
especially
So
if the
just
kid's in an
totally
after school
different.
program, it's like
Yeah.
we're done.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have parent duties, of course, but
Yeah, it's It's challenging.
Yeah. So I want to talk now. This is so hot, you guys. Look at this. This is their Halloween photo.
That was a fun Halloween. That was last year.
Oh, so who's the Terminator fan?
Gabriel.
Is this Gabe?
He baked those little bullet things. You can't see them up close.
This? Oh, there's bullet wounds. I didn't see that.
Open bullet wounds.
Oh, I love that.
He baked them. He
He's
made
got
his
the photo of
costume.
the sun. Okay, that is.
It was his idea. I was like, I need something easy, babe, where like I just don't have to go get a bunch of stuff.
And you guys look so hot. And
It was
here's
a
the thing.
fun.
You guys like to party a little bit.
We do. We
and
do.
so here's what my question for all the bad moms out there. How do you balance that kind of like party border?
Where's
This
Thomas
song
going?
is going. Thomas is going.
Do you
He's
want me
like,
to bring
Mommy,
you
come
some
play
Thomas
with me.
trains?
We'll wrap this up soon.
Will you come sit on my lap?
We might have to do a part 2
No?
with Miriam
Okay.
because I have so many things I want to talk to her about,
Wait,
you
I
guys.
want to talk to you too because I want to hear
Yeah.
about like Raleigh and
Oh,
diabetes.
yes. I was going to talk about that. So, the song is going. Did you press
Where's Thomas going?
Where's Thomas going? Is he going to the circus?
No.
No. Where's he going, Quinn?
Quinn, who's that? Are you in?
What?
Are you in the Listen, Mommy?
Where is he?
Thomas going.
He went-
This is bothering me. There's like this chain thing and it looks like a hair is coming out of my head.
Can I get you some trains?
Some Thomas?
Yeah, some Thomas. I have some Thomas in my backpack. Would you like it? Alyssa, I have some Thomas in my backpack.
Oh, wow. Fun.
Here we go, Quinn.
My nephew, Henry, loves Thomas the Train too.
Oh my God, Henry is Quinn's favorite Thomas train.
Oh, yeah, Henry and Oliver. Those are my nephews. They're so cute. I can't wait to see them at Christmas time. In fact, I got these adorable, where are they? I got these adorable Christmas jammies.
Okay, I'm gonna give you Thomas. Remember, this is
Yeah.
our Thomas. Okay? And I don't think we brought Henry. You want this one? No.
I need Thomas.
Oh my
Look
gosh,
at
Quinn, look who we brought. We can't forget to take him home with us.
So my brother's a huge Star Wars fan, and I found these for my nephew Henry. They're Stormtrooper
That's adorable.
Christmas jammies. I kind of have conflicted emotions about how much they highlight the bad guys in these products, but I have to say they're so cute.
They're really
And
cute.
my brother's gonna love them because he's a huge Star Wars fan.
It's
So I
really
saw that, I'm
cute.
like, whenever I see something Star Wars for his kids, I'm like dying. So I'll
really
see him at Christmas. His birthday's
Is your
December
brother
1st.
like up by your mom?
No, so my brothers are up in the Sacramento area, so
Okay,
they're really
gotcha,
far, so I
Sac
don't see
Town.
them as much. My mom's halfway, or closer to here.
Yeah,
She's in
Los Alamos, right?
Los Alamos now.
Los Alamos.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
where that is.
And it's getting it's called Little LA, and there's all these like LA gays that are coming in, and the town is so adorable. Like they've redone all the little motels and they're like
Is this bad to
mid-century
say?
modern.
I feel like gay people make towns amazing.
No, that's 100%.
Amazing.
It's like,
aesthetically
can you
pleasing.
please teach
kind,
straight men and
me?
women like what good design and style is?
Yes.
I mean, their attention to detail and
Is phenomenal.
the
Spot
food
on.
is so good. There's all these new restaurants. Everything
yum.
is so delicious,
Yum.
and we're just loving it.
This
yeah,
is
we're
why
like,
I love
yes.
West Hollywood.
Yeah, I know. It's clean and it's got
Everyone
good
picks up
food
after their
and-
dogs.
Yeah, and everyone's polite and crosses the road, and people stop for you, and yeah.
Yeah, they don't yell names at you when you
No,
cross
it's
legally.
respectful. Yeah, no, 100%. So here's my question. So how do you balance, because you guys knew how to have fun. I mean, you're not irresponsible people, but you know how to party. With this, like, how do you balance these? You know what I mean? Like, and like with other
Very
parents.
precariously.
Right, like I feel like even with this, I'm careful who I share it with, because what if I smoke pot one day on this? Because, okay, here's my thing. Snoop Dogg. I love him.
Yes.
I'm a huge Snoop Dogg fan as a Californian.
My dad taught at Poly where he went to high school.
Okay, so I have dreams where he gives me advice. Like I feel like we're in so
I
strange
love
because you
him.
never
He's
think
amazing.
that. I love him too. And here's the thing: he can smoke the chronic constantly. He can womanize, and yet he can be a great dad. You know what I mean? Like everyone's like he's
And
such
a
a good dad.
contributor to his
community.
community. Yeah.
So what woman can do those three things? Not at all. Like we can't even pretend to smoke pot one day on a show, and even now that it's legal, and not have other moms being like, oh,
Yep. can't.
Right? And it's women, I think, inflicting on women because guys don't really care. I don't think they really judge. I don't, because otherwise they'd be judging each other, but they don't. They're like, hey, what whiskey is your favorite whiskey? And let's play poker and smoke cigars all night long. And they're still great dads. They don't feel bad. They don't feel bad. Does Gabe feel bad? If he like parties and not at all. And no one's looking at him like, oh, this makes you a bad dad.
Yeah.
Am I blowing? Are you woke right now? Are you like waking and
so.
you're like, whoa. I think about this all the time. It drives me insane.
Interesting.
That's why bad mom jokes, because I'm like, let's play with this barrier, you know.
I feel like I don't have like my kids too, so
You're not in the social scene yet.
I'm not in that yet.
You're not in preschool yet.
He is in a preschool, but
Yeah.
it's like Ryan Waldorf based.
Yeah.
So it's very
I need another
I'm also not close with any of the parents yet. You need
So
another
you don't really
Thomas?
feel those societal pressures yet.
Hi Quinn, I hear
Because
you.
I'll tell you when it hits really hard if you go to public school.
I'm sure.
Because, well, especially for me, all of a sudden I was like, at first impression felt like it mattered, being responsible, but I have to say we're really lucky. We're in Venice, and Venice parents are the coolest.
You're so
Like a lot of them think this is so great. They think it's so great that I do stand-up. But if I were in, say, Santa Monica or Brentwood or somewhere where they're like, who's the weird mom? You know, like what is she doing? Yeah.
That is really interesting.
Yeah, so it
That
does
makes
make a
sense.
difference in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a small town, and it was very conservative, so I'm sensitive to the group think.
Gotcha.
I know what it is to be put in check because my behavior is too out into left field, you know?
Gotcha.
Yeah, where you grew up in the city.
I grew up in Orange County.
Yeah, which is also pretty conservative.
I guess it was conservative, but I fell into line really like.
You're a good girl.
I'm
And
a
see,
really-
if
I
I'm
was
a
a
good
really
girl,
good girl.
I'm pretending. Like it's not that I'm a bad girl, but I like to test barriers. I've always been testing barriers.
I hear you,
I'm
Quinn.
sorry. What do you need, Quinn?
Hey Quinn.
Another toy? We can find you another toy. We can do that.
You need
You
another
need another toy?
another
Let's do
toy
it.
or another Thomas?
Another toy.
How do you ask for another toy, baby?
This might be a little noisy, but let's do it.
Ooh.
Look at this. Ooh, I got it. Ooh. Let's see if this one works. You put it up here, and like you put it up here like this, and then you press this button. Oh my gosh, he's so
Whoa.
loud, but who cares? He's entertained. So you don't really maybe there's
I'm
the
not there
fact you're not struggling.
I'm
with
sure I
this.
will be. No.
But I don't know because honestly, you're so likable. Like I feel like I'm likable on camera or like when I'm doing public speaking, but then when people get to know me, they're like, "There's something off about her." Like it's like something off-putting about that woman. I don't know, you know.
Really?
I think so. I don't know.
I don't get that.
Maybe I think because I come on kind of strong, like I won't like fake it with people or I like crack jokes.
See, that's great. I feel
don't
like
know.
you did it, Quinn.
Yay!
I'm pretty pragmatic and I'm
Yeah.
good at being a diplomat.
Yes, I can see that about
My
you.
dad always said that
But at
about
the
me.
same time, it's natural for you. Like,
It is
you're
natural.
not like when I'm trying to be diplomatic, like it's like I'm really happy. It's like when I'm trying to be good at like a really fancy dinner. No matter how hard I try, I'm the last person to put my napkin on my lap, or I'm like the last person, or like I forget that I'm eating with my mouth open, or you know what I mean? Like I just didn't.
You're like, but you like.
I'm
you
a
have
country
strong-
girl.
And you have a strong point of view, and you're not
Yeah.
afraid to share it. You're
Yeah.
like Hamilton.
I haven't seen it.
Oh my God.
It was kind of okay. So my
Ooh,
husband
it
produced
is
American
an-
Psycho, and it was our enemy. We were like F Hamilton because they like sucked up all the air.
Oh,
out of
gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're kind of like everyone would be like Hamilton. We're like we know about Hamilton, but you saw it.
As a parent,
Yeah. I'm sure it was amazing. I've
as a
heard so many
parent,
things.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
As a parent, I feel like it struck me in a different way than it would have. But
Wow.
you know, like he's someone who is
Yeah.
assertive and says what he's thinking, and then the other dude, Aaron Burr, like always plays the middle, and so you never know what he's. It's fascinating.
Interesting.
And it is as
Yeah.
good as
Yeah,
people
there
say
is
it
such a thing as being too honest, and people are uncomfortable with it. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's kind of like, ugh, that person's it's kind of ruining the vibe or whatever.
I mean, my dad got kicked out of multiple temples because of his honesty.
Good for him. He's my hero. I always loved your dad, but now I'm loving him even more.
Yeah, very.
Wow.
Here's
Good
what
for
I think.
him.
Here's why I think it,
Yeah,
and it was
good
always
for him. I
valid.
like that. I have relatives that were like that. I found out. I was reading like old journals and stuff.
Oh, how cool.
And I had one that was fired from his post at, I think it was a Presbyterian church, a big, well-to-do one in Chicago.
Interesting.
At a really young age because he believed in civil rights. And the congregation was not having it. I know, I'm getting chills. And I was so happy to find that. Because as a white person, you're like, am I a good guy or am I a bad guy? Like, who are my relatives, you know?
Yeah.
And I think I'm probably like half and half. But I was so happy to find that. And that he risked everything. And then he was kind of a little bit on, like, he had his own point of view about interpreting scripture. And he still has kind of a following. They have a website and an archive.
That's
and
cool.
he published his own. I wouldn't have wanted to be in his family because everything revolved around him. Like, they had their own publishing company and they published all his work and, you know, mailed it out across the country and Canada. And that's how that was like the YouTube of the time. You know, you print your own pamphlets and send them out to your mailing list.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where I get this. Is like,
Maybe.
I have something to say and I don't care if you want to hear it. But anyways, so I was really pleased when I found that out.
That's so cool.
But that's so cool about your dad because that means
history.
he's really challenging the system. You
Yeah,
know?
he was always very much challenging the system.
good
I
for
mean,
him.
it's probably
We
good.
need that. We need more of that.
Good he's not alive anymore because he would just
Die.
He probably would have had a heart attack.
It's gotta be hard. It's gotta be hard to have been fighting your whole life, especially for some of the women in politics and stuff. You're fighting your whole life. You think it's going in the right direction, and then you're like, I'm not gonna be alive long enough to see this through.
Have you seen RGB?
Yes.
I such it. Oh my God. What
Oh, no, I
a
didn't
freaking
see it.
badass.
But
You will love it.
It's a documentary?
Yes, you will
Okay,
love
I
it.
just know what's going on.
It is
She
so
just
well
broke her
done.
ribs.
I know, and
Yeah.
then she, in the
And then
perfect
she's like,
timing
I'm
when there are
going
no
back.
decisions being
I'm
made.
doing work right here, and I know. And then I'm like, did someone push her? You know, like.
Oh yeah, no,
I'm
I
like
got that
conspiracy,
too.
like. Yeah.
Did she not really break her ribs, and this was the perfect time, so that she
No,
didn't have to
I
be
think-
there when Kavanaugh was sworn in or whatever?
She really did, and
No,
but,
I know.
Yeah, and she's like working from the hospital, and I mean, it's like,
You gotta see.
wow.
You will love
Okay,
the documentary.
okay,
It's
I
a
will see
very
it.
well done documentary,
I'm sure I
and you're
will.
like, oh my God.
Such an inspiration.
There's one point where she's watching. What's the amazing comedian who plays her on Saturday Night Live? You know who I mean. Who also plays Hillary.
Oh yes,
Who's
I
like-
do. I'm Kate. No wait.
Yeah.
It's
Kate.
I'm a
something or
little
other.
out of the
She's
loop.
so
I know
good.
exactly what you're
Anyhow,
talking about.
I mean,
She's
everyone
great.
knows
Yeah,
exactly.
she's
who
great. Yeah,
And like,
she's really good.
and as she's doing RGB,
Yeah.
oh my God, why am I'm having a total mom moment where I'm talking like I
And
don't
you're
even remember
sleep
what's
deprived.
her, Ruth, where Ruth Bader Ginsburg is being asked like, oh, do you think that this person portraying you is anything like you? She's like, no, nothing like me. Doesn't remind me of me at all, but she's hilarious.
Oh my gosh, that's so great. And I think it's so great that they get to check in with her. So Jessie was approached about this new Diana musical that's based on you would think, right? And I was really like, oh, this sounds amazing. So I watched the reading of it that he had. And I have to say, after a lot of thought, I was really upset about it because they totally didn't get her at all. And it's like, she's not here to say, hey guys, that's not me. You know, like you didn't get it. They made it into this like, I'm a little girl that wants to be a princess, and oh, I became a princess. But it's like, no, she was a royal who was so powerful. She was the first modern woman of the royal family. She broke so many taboos and so many barriers. I was doing research because of it. So I'm like, I gotta now really find out about Princess Diana because I didn't know. I was just a
I don't
kid.
know any of
I
these
didn't even realize it was in '97 that she died. I thought it was like in the '80s. It happened when I was older. You know? And so she was the first royal to hold the hand of someone with HIV without a glove, and it was this really big deal. And so she was such a fighter for like these amazing charities and children. She was like, she raised her kids. She put them in school. It was tradition for tutors to come to you. She put her kids in school. She took them to amusement parks. Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, one more.
I think she has more here, or did she drink it all? Yeah, I think that's okay. Yeah. Thank you, Marcy, for asking. Anyways, I don't know. Have you ever been into the royal family and following that? Or here in California, we're so like in our own world. We don't really get into a lot of that stuff, which I think is healthy to not get too into the celebrity culture.
Yeah.
But I'm a little like interested. Like I watched a little bit of the Queen and I was like, oh, this is good. This is good. There's something about like when they wear a dress, it's like this huge statement worldwide. Like it's just like every little detail is so studied and it's like everything has a message. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, I've been thinking a lot about Princess Diana because Prince Edward, her former, he was.
I literally know nothing.
So it was his 70th birthday this past week, and they all took photos together. And Kate Middleton wore a navy blue with white polka dot dress that looked almost identical to one that Princess Diana wore when she was married to him Prince Charles or whatever on the bench. And
God, imagine having.
And so she made that choice. Yeah, so she made that choice to pay tribute to her.
That's cool.
You know, and I just think, oh, like there's so much that's unsaid, but you know there's so much thought that put into that to acknowledge her and how important she is to the family and I don't know, to be robbed of such an amazing mom like so early in their lives and all of that, it gives me chills. Anyway, so Ruth Bader Ginsburg is here to say this is great, but that's not me at all. So
no, and it's not like Kate McKinnon. It's nothing like her. Like when you see well, no, sometimes they get it spot on.
Right, the impression.
But like I feel like probably
maybe the situation.
Well, I think RBG might be a little boring. Like.
Yeah. If you watch her, it's not entertaining. Like,
she admits.
Yeah. Like Alec Baldwin, he's one of my favorite performers.
I love him.
But in real life, he'd be such a bad guy. Like he'd be someone you hate, right? But he is so entertaining. He is like his characters he plays. He's such an asshole. Like that's what's so funny about him. Like he's this asshole boss. Or he's this asshole little kid and boss baby. I mean,
who he usually plays.
Yes, like who he plays and what makes him so entertaining. You'd be like, ugh, in real life, you know? But like, so a performer has to figure that out, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what is it about me that is compelling to watch, you know?
I worked with him on a commercial.
Nice.
And
did you get to talk to him?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to hear everything. I didn't know that.
It's not that exciting.
Every moment.
No,
it's exciting.
No, so
I love him.
What was interesting about him, because he wasn't the director, it was someone else who was directing it. But he would like call his own cuts and like he knew exactly how he wanted it to be edited.
You have no
idea.
He
was in essence the director, and the director of course had to, because the director wasn't as big as Alec was.
Of course.
But he was lovely with everyone. He was just so
love him.
Lovely, and he knew exactly what he needed and what he wanted, and when his performances were good and when they weren't.
He knows.
He would like just cut it.
For sure.
And he was so professional.
Yeah.
And
I mean, have you seen his early stuff?
He was lovely. He was just so charming.
He's been amazing from day one. Like, have you seen his early work? Like, he is so hot and he is so talented. And I completely admire him. I swear that Tina Fey's work with him, has been such a positive influence on her writing. Like I see when she's doing Alec Baldwin writing, like I see the influence of working with him all those years, and I love it. I think it's spot on. I really love how she's interpreted that, like from a female perspective. Anyways, so yeah, love that you worked with him.
Strong woman.
That's so cool. I'm like,
oh my god,
you talked to him.
Do you know what speaking of like other strong women, I just listened to an Oprah masterclass on Cindy Crawford. Did you know she got a full ride to Northwestern to be like a chemical engineer or an electrical engineer?
I believe it. That she's brilliant.
Like crazy smart.
Yeah, I believe that for sure.
Like in her life story.
Yeah.
Cried multiple times.
Yeah, I do think people underestimate how incredibly difficult and what a strong person you have to be to get to that celebrity point. I don't think people really appreciate.
She was so well spoken.
How difficult that is.
So like smart and emotionally available and present and it's like, oh my god, Cindy Crawford, who knew? Who knew you weren't just...
I feel like people must have known, and that's what kind of catapult, because the people that you're interacting with behind the scenes, they're going to want to lift you up if you are more brilliant or you are more gracious or you know what I mean? Like I think it's like the good stuff rises to the top, you know?
Yeah.
I would think, and people want to be around you and they want to have conversations with you and you're smart. Like another person who I think is really smart is Sharon Stone.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, like she I mean, to be able to master her career, her image, and figure that out through the years, like, I thought it was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what? So, I feel like there was, I know what I wanted to talk to you about. But I keep putting this off. So we've been interrupted a few times. My daughter has diabetes.
Oh, yes.
And she was diagnosed, because we didn't talk about this.
No. When
you're
did
not
you
on
find
social
this
media.
out? I mean, like.
So now you're the interviewer.
Okay, great.
No. So I found out a month from her 3rd birthday to the day she was diagnosed. So June 29th.
Oh, so this is very recent.
Very recent. I'm adjusted now. It's been about 4 or 5 months of doing her treatments. So you're in the hospital for a couple weeks.
Question.
Yes.
How did you realize, like, what was...
Yeah, everyone's asking me
was
that.
she exhibiting that made you be like, something's off?
Yes. And a lot of moms have asked me that, and I have to say it is very rare. So just because your kid... So you do have to really pay attention to your kids. She's still in diapers. So I noticed that she was peeing a lot. Okay. And I thought at first that it was just because she was getting bigger, drinking. It was summer. She was drinking more fluids. Yeah. So she was peeing the last night before we went to the doctor.
No.
Do you need a diaper?
You know what? Alyssa and I are talking right now. What would you like?
It's okay.
I need another Thomas.
Another Thomas. That is important. We need to get him another Thomas the Train, because you have been playing so nicely this whole time. It's impressive. I really am impressed. He's from you guys, and he's super
Tell
patient.
you where the Thomases are?
Here, we have a whole box of Thomases.
Oh, Thomas.
Yeah,
Thomas, where are you? Thomas the Train.
Oh, Quinn.
Oh, you found him. Oh, look at that. Look at all the Thomas the Trains. I love it.
I'm going to pull this up, baby.
Does he need a diaper?
No, I have a diaper.
Oh my gosh, Miriam, I could seriously talk to you all day long. I was thinking like, oh my gosh, I hope it doesn't go too quick. Am I going to have enough to talk about? But I feel like, well, especially because we haven't seen each other in a year. Yeah. So I feel like we could just talk and talk and talk. I love it. Yes, yeah.
This is not acceptable.
But when my friends that don't have kids, they're like, oh, I haven't seen you forever. I'm like, I just saw you. You're in my rotation.
When people are like, let's go get coffee. I'm like, no, I can talk to you on the phone. We can have a phone date, but
exactly. Like, no, that's going to get coffee.
But it's just impractical.
Yeah. Remember the days where we just went to a dance class because we felt like it, or yoga, or we just went to get coffee.
Or did something dumb, like went to get coffee.
Yeah, every day I just think it's time to go to Starbucks. I need my, Starbucks. Like reignite my creativity.
You gotta remember we brought them so we can bring them back home. Okay.
Mom life.
What do you say, baby? You're welcome.
Oh, you're so sweet. He's such a sweetie. That smile. He's got the Prince Charming smile, you guys.
I'm biased.
All the 2-year-old girls out there, watch out. Oh my goodness. Because so my friend sent me. Speaking of mom life, my friend sent me this Facebook video. So it's hard to share because you have to share it on Facebook. Okay. But it's this fake job interview, and there's like 5 people, and they film them to reacting to the job description. So it's like you have to work 124 hours a week. You can't eat until your associates have eaten. You need to be, be well versed in the culinary arts and this and that and this. Another Thomas. You look in the box. There's lots. I don't know if we have another Thomas, but there's lots of trains in the box. And then finally, and they're like, what? This? And then they're like, oh. And then finally, after all these things, they're like, you have to stand. You can't sit. And they're like, and then they say at the very end, and there's no pay. And they're like, and a lot of people do this job. They're like, who does this job? And then they finally reveal moms. And then everyone's like, yeah, they are amazing. And the aha moment.
I hear you.
People, oh, sweetie pie. You want another? Is he getting tired too? At that time of day.
Hey, Quinn, I hear you.
What's
You're
this, Quinn?
repeating yourself.
Look at this. Express train. It has all the coal, so Thomas can
Quinn.
go through.
Quinn Bear.
Really? Oh, here we go. Whoa, this is the longest train, Quinn. Look at that. Whoa, what? So crazy. Anyways, but the aha moment on their faces, it was so brilliant because they're like, oh wow, yeah, moms really are amazing. It's hard to really communicate to people what we do and how intense it is.
I feel like Well,
Yeah, no, what?
I do feel like dads get it, like,
dads are starting to get it. Yeah,
like
my husband
Gabriel gets it.
Yeah,
like,
good for him because he does it some of the time.
Yeah, he does it.
Yeah, the dads have to do it to get it.
Yeah, the dads who do it really get it.
Like my husband's who's never done it, so he's traveling with me this weekend. I'm like, what did I agree to?
I would be so pissed about that.
Yeah, when you go shoot on a film, it's
Can
like
I talk to you? I'm not offering you.
Another Thomas.
I'm not offering you another
Do you
Thomas.
think are those all the Thomas the Train?
No, he doesn't need.
I think
Quinn,
those are all of them.
I hear you right now. I hear what you're saying. I'm not offering you another Thomas.
Well, I don't
You
know,
have-
Quinn.
No, look at.
I don't know if we have a mail car. Yeah, and we have a race car. And this one's magnetic. Yeah, a mail truck. These are magnetic. These are really cool. Let's see. Where's the little truck? Oh, look at this, Quinn. It does this. Look at it.
I think actually he needs some
Look
attention.
at that. Whoa. That's so cool. Maybe he'll play with that. We can wrap it up. Anyways, this is Mom's trying to do something. But honestly, we have been going for a while, and the kids are playing really nicely, so we are lucky.
Wait, I want to hear. Can I interview you from here? You talk to camera.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to talk about what's going on. So the night before, my friend Miriam was asking me, how did I know that my daughter had diabetes? The night before we went to the doctors, she had filled 5 diapers full of pee. Were on the ground, and I looked at those, and I'm like, I just knew. And she was waking up the 3 nights before at midnight and guzzling a glass of water, and I'd like try to pull it away from her, and she'd pull it back. And here's the thing, so many parents don't know because you don't really notice until it's too late, and a lot of kids end up in the ICU. So thankfully, she didn't have any complications. She didn't end up in the ICU. I think because she was in diapers, I could really see the difference. But if you have a 5-year-old that's just peeing all day long, you're not with them, you don't know. They could be at school. A teacher doesn't know. Even in the doctor's office, I described all the symptoms. I said, I think it's diabetes. And they said, oh, maybe it's just a bladder infection, because it's so rare that they don't assume that it would be unless they test you. And then sure enough, they tested. When I saw her face, when I saw the doctor's face come in, she's like, I'm so sorry. It was just like
what was your first reaction?
I think it's like, here we go. The night before, I had a feeling, and Jesse's like, you're overreacting. He went to bed. I couldn't sleep. Moms know. Moms know, and I couldn't sleep. And I was just looking around our house, and I said, after tomorrow, this is all going to be different. You know, everything's going to be different when we come back.
What did you have to, what are some of the things
Now that I'm 4 months in, it feels a lot less drastic, because now I'm in it. Here's the thing. So we have a family channel. It's called Supercaliflistic, and I'm watching all the old videos, and it's like we're just eating cotton candy or eating a donut, or it's just like we're having fun with sugar all the time. Now sugar is something we have to really control.
Yeah.
So she can have sugar, but like she can't just have a juice box.
No.
You know, so it's like I'll let her have like a little Halloween candy after she eats dinner, and then I give her the insulin, you know. So basically her pancreas doesn't work. So whenever she has carbs, I have to give her insulin to match that. So that's really tricky. It's like really. So I'm learning as I go, and I'm learning how crazy it is to live with it.
You are a rock star.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I think it like you don't have a choice. You're keeping your kid alive, so it turns anyone into a rock star. Like you have no choice. And then there's a huge community, so I feel really supported. One of my best friends from childhood. Oh, this is weird. 2 of my bestest friends from childhood both are dealing with it. So one of my best friend's 10-year-old daughters had it for 5 years. I found out my other best friend, we were like always together, always the 3 of us. My other best friend from childhood, her husband got diagnosed as an adult.
With type 1?
Type 1.
Whoa.
Yeah, which is really rare. And it's crazy. I'm like, ladies, what did we do that day when we were doing Ouija board all day? Like, I'm like, why are we all connected with this diabetes? Like, it's so bizarre to me. Like, I'm coming up with a conspiracy.
Especially for the adult, that it's type 1 and not
type 1. I know, like how crazy to get diagnosed with type 1. It happens. It does happen. But the fact, like I'm not exaggerating when I say we were best friends. We would spend every day like listening to old records in my friend Kate's house and like eating sunflower seeds. This is like the summer before high school, you know. We really were always together, and then we've now just in the past 5 years have been connected by this, which is a blessing because at least I have people I can call and text, especially my friend Kate. I can just text her anytime, day or night, and she's like been doing it for 5 years,
and
you know.
How has Raleigh?
How is she adjusting?
Adapting and adjusting.
She's doing really well, but every once in a while it is heartbreaking because she's so young. She'll say like, the other day she said, "When I done with diabetes?" And I'm like, "You're never gonna be done with it." And then she'd start crying like, "I done with diabetes now. I done with," like she thinks it's gonna end. So that's.
Well, you know what?
Hi. Cutie. We're talking about how you were diagnosed with diabetes this summer. What do you think about it?
I won a green tree and it was a game with Christmas trees. But I don't want the yellow tree, but it's the red tree. I think on a green tree.
You want a green tree? Is that the game you're playing right now?
Yeah.
Are you a tree? All wrapped up?
No.
What are you?
I'm gonna. And that's I'm walking with a blanket.
Oh, okay. Fun. So the one blessing is she's so young. I don't know that she'll ever remember not being diabetic. Because kids won't, like she won't remember 2, you know, or 3.
I wonder if it will be ever with all the advances in nutrition and medicine. I wonder if it is a life sentence. We don't know.
We don't know. I'm not like. I think what they'll find first is a preventative. I think the first thing will be like people like Declan, my son, who's more likely to get it, they'll have a preventative vaccine for him. So I think they're going to focus on preventing it and prevention first. So I don't know the timeline, you know, but I do know it's way better to be diagnosed with diabetes now than it was 10, 20 years ago. It was really scary, and because the insulin has gotten so much better, and more effective. So thankfully, we have insurance right now. We have technology and all the pumps and all those things that they have now. But it's scary as a mom. Some nights I'm up, I'm like, oh, whoa, what if an emergency happens? Or what if she finds herself in a situation where she doesn't have insurance, or she doesn't have access to insulin? And you're just like, you can't even think about it. You just got to be like, right now, we've got everything we need. Don't go there, you know? Because you know how mom mind can just really go to that, like, so I've gotten really good now at just being in the moment and don't go there, you know? Yeah. Which is helpful because really you never know what's down the road with kids. Yeah. Or your life or whatever. So yeah. It's a huge life lesson. So yeah, so here we are. But I have to say she had a wonderful Halloween because I was nervous about that. And she's been really great about like not sneaking candy. I almost think older kids would be harder because they might constantly try to sneak, where she's talks to me about it still, so I can control it a little more, you know? Yeah. So yes, I'm a type 1 diabetic mom now, type 1 diabetes mom. T1D mom. Hashtag T1D mom, yeah.
Is that a thing?
It's a thing, yeah, there's a whole community. Yeah, so that's the blessing is, and this is a lot of people that have diabetes in their family or that have it. The saying is, it's the club you never wanted to be in, but you are in a club now. So there is like a network of people.
Oh, Quinn
Okay,
wants
so we
my
can wrap it
attention.
up. We can wrap it up because
Okay,
poor
baby.
Quinn's like, they have been so patient. We've been going. This is like definitely my longest morning ever because I still want to talk about this picture.
Oh gosh.
No, because you played a witch in my kitchen.
Oh, I did.
And I swear,
Okay, I'm gonna.
there's a part of my kitchen that's cursed. I think you unintentionally, cast a real spell in my kitchen.
Well, I'm gonna uncast that spell.
I was wondering, could you?
Abundant spells. So.
Yeah, because I
Show
want.
me.
Do you know about your powers? Like you have real power.
I do feel powerful.
Like-
What's part of your kitchen?
I will. I'm gonna show her now. She's gonna
Unhex. Do this. I didn't know the real reason why I was invited over, but now it's
She's
clear.
gonna bless my kitchen, and thank you so much, Miriam. Thank you,
Oh my
Quinn,
gosh, my pleasure.
for letting me borrow your mom. And we're gonna do this again. It was so much fun. Thank